Welcome back to another episode of the Almost Tipsy Vegan. Today we are kind of preparing in advance our holiday meal for Thanksgiving. And since I'm vegan, I don't actually eat turkey, but we're having some wild turkey. And I'm fixing to shoot a wild turkey. What do y'all think? How about shoot a wild turkey with me? Okay? Today, we're going to actually try to make something I've never done before. We're going to make a turkey for Thanksgiving. Okay, we'll start out. We're going to put a half of a white onion in the frying pan. Get it started cooking. And it's 2 stalks of celery chopped up. We're going to let that cook just for a second. And y'all are going to be really, if this works out, like I said, I've never done it before, we're going to try to make this a 3D turkey instead of just a pan turkey. So we're going to let that cook just for a second. And then we're going to add a lot of spices. And we're not using, I put a little bit of oil in here just for a little bit. But we don't really use a lot of oil in the show. But I'm letting this cook just for a second. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic. Okay. I'll add a little bit of garlic. I think I have 3 cloves of garlic that's been diced up. I'm going to let that cook. Okay, I'm going to get that out of the way. And now then we're going to add, this is about a cup of diced up mushrooms. It's about a cup. Okay? We'll let this all cook together. And it can cook down. So let it all mesh together. Now, while that's cooking, I'm going to add some spices in here. I'm going to add a little bit of no salt seasoning. And then I'm going to add a little bit of just a smoked paprika. I'm going to add more down the road. And then I always forget about the salt and pepper. I'm going to add some pepper in here. Okay, add a little bit of pepper. And then a little bit of salt. Okay. Now we'll stir this around. Oh, that smells so good cooking. We'll start to smell it. Okay. Now then, let's see. To keep that from sticking, we're going to add a little bit of beer to keep it from sticking. And that beer is also going to add a good bit of flavor. So, okay, now that's cooking. I've told y'all on other shows that the way to do tofu is you put it in when you're back from the store, you bring it back, and we're using firm tofu today. And it comes in a package like this. I've already cut the top off of this one and drained it, but you freeze it, and then once you freeze it, you take it out of the freezer, let it thaw out. Then you put it back in the freezer, let it thaw out, and then you take it out again, you squeeze it, and that water just drains out. It's so easy. There's no need to get these passes or waste towels. 'Cause once you put a towel around it, then you got to wash the towel, and so the water just squeezes out. Okay? You see how that's coming out? Okay. Now then, we can crumble this up. Crumble it up. This is actually going to be our part of our meat substitute. This tofu is going to be. And this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a unique recipe if it turns out. And if it turns out, y'all will be, if you make it, you will be your family's heroes. So, that's 1 block of tofu in there. And we got that in there, and we're going to do a half of one more. Half of one more. So, again, we'll squeeze it. And you see the liquid coming out. But this time, I'm going to take half of it. I'm cutting half of it, and I'm going to put half in this, so a block and a half of tofu. And we're going to let this cook. So, now then, while that's cooking, we're going to start adding more of our spices. We're going to add, this is liquid smoke. We're going to add a good bit of liquid smoke. We like smoked turkey. Well, that's Worcestershire, I'm sorry, Worcestershire. It's Worcestershire. But we'll put Worcestershire in there. Okay. Here's our liquid smoke. We're going to put a good bit of liquid smoke because we like liquid smoke. Okay. We'll finish that bottle up. Okay. So that 1 bottle gone. Okay. We're going to add some fennel seed. We're going to add, let's see, this is half a teaspoon of fennel seed. Half teaspoon of fennel seed. And then we're going to add some sage. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of sage. Just about 3/4 teaspoon. So a bit of sage. Sage gives it that earthy, really good flavor. Now we're going to add coriander. You know, I'm a big fan of coriander. So we're going to add a teaspoon of coriander. And then we're going to add a half teaspoon of cumin. Half teaspoon. We're going to have a lot of flavor in this, so if it turns out, if it does what I'm hoping it would do, and that's going to be revealed later on, we're also going to put a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And if you don't have any kind of heart problems or anything, or not on any kind of blood thinners or anything, put a little bit of turmeric in here. Put just a little bit in here because it's so healthy for you. It's antioxidant, so it's really good for you if you can get out on a blood thinner. So we got our ingredients in here. We have to stir it around a little bit. We're gonna let this cook, get it all mixed together. And boy, this does smell good. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of thickener in here. We're gonna add a little bit of a flour in here. I'm gonna put out one little thing right here so we can get some flour mixed in here. So I'm gonna add just a teaspoon of flour. Oh, let's make it 2 teaspoons of flour. And see how that goes. We're going to stir that around. We're going to really thicken this up just a little bit. We're trying to make a little, just a thickener. What we're going to end up doing is baking this all together. And, okay, so I'm going to add now just a little bit of milk of this to make it. We're going to add a little bit of milk to thicken it up. This is soy milk. This is not cow milk. This is soy milk. Okay? So we're adding this. Thicken it up a good bit. Oh yeah, it's coming together good now. Okay, y'all see how it's coming together? It's getting thicker. Okay, it's looking really good. I tell you what, I'm going to add a little bit more flour and a little bit more milk. And we'll have 3 teaspoons of flour. Just thicken it up. Okay, now then, one thing I want to add, if my sous chef over here will go get me the flaxseed. Actually, it's my wife, I'm a sous chef. She helps a lot though. She's a camera person. She's really good at it, and I appreciate her help. So we're going to add some flaxseed in here. Again, it's a thickening agent. So we're going to let this all cook together. Okay. Okay, we found the flaxseed, and this is just a thickening agent. I'm going to put it in here. It's probably half a cup, a quarter of a cup probably. And we're going to stir that around to thicken it up a little bit. Again, I'm going to add a little bit more milk to this. Keep it from sticking. And we don't want to stick. And what we do eventually is put this all in the oven and make a little turkey breast out of it. Now we're also going to add, this is vegan, plant-based sour cream. So this is just to add a lot of flavor to it. We're adding, it's about 2/3 of a package. So we're going to add this to it. This is going to add a whole lot of flavor. And we're going to stir this all together. Okay? So this is what it's turned out to be right now. And we're fixing to put this in the oven and let it cook. So it's all stirred together. I think all the ingredients are in here we need. Hey, but the good thing about it is we can taste it right now and see what it tastes like. Let's taste it, see what it tastes like. see if it needs anything before we actually do the cooking of it. Okay, it does need more salt. I mean, I don't do hardly any salt, but it needs salt. So we're gonna add salt to it. So that should be enough. And I don't remember, did I? I don't think I put, I think I'm missing some thyme, so let's put some thyme in here. I know I didn't put thyme in, so I bought a new jar today. And we're gonna put some thyme in here. Just sprinkle some on there. Okay? So now we got thyme. We got thyme on your hand. We got thyme while we're cooking. Oh, that smells so good. That's fresh thyme. Okay? So we got that in there. We will taste it again. That's it. That's really, really good. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now, if this is cooking, I'm going to put it in the oven and let it cook for about probably an hour. I mean, you could eat it right now, but I want it to get really thick and put it in the oven and let it do that. So, okay, so we'll see y'all in just a second. Okay, while y'all are gone, when I turned it off, I realized I had forgotten to put in, this is a half a cup of chopped walnuts. So I am adding a half a cup of chopped walnuts to this. Again, that's just going to add some depth to it and give it a different texture. So while the oven now is getting hot, I'm mixing this together. And it's fixing to go in the oven. So we'll see y'all in a couple minutes. Okay, what I've done here is my microphone was off. I apologize for that. So we are recording over. I've taken some sweet potatoes and I put them in a food processor and sliced them really thin. And those are going to be my chicken legs. And right now I'm putting cinnamon over that. And in a few minutes I will be putting, as you see, I put cinnamon on there. And now I'll be putting some agave nectar, just drizzling that over the sliced sweet potatoes. And that'll give it just extra flavor, a little sweetness. And that's going to be the drumstick, so to speak, the dark meat. And so that's what I've done so far. Now, I'm going to, I appear to be doing something with wild turkey here. Oh, gotta take a shot. Sometimes the wild turkey makes it into the dish, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, shot of wild turkey, and let's see, I make a mistake right here, I believe. Nope. Okay, well, yeah I did, see there, I told you I made a mistake, I thought I did. I've had a little too much wild turkey today. So I'm making a glaze here, or sauce. I'm going to be putting that over the tofu. I put wild turkey, that's Worcestershire right there. Put a few drops of Worcestershire in there. And now the next thing I'm putting in there is a little bit of agave nectar. And then, let's see, what else am I putting? That's a little bit of barbecue, just dry barbecue rub. Again, that's giving it just more and more flavor. And then that's just no salt seasoning. We use that all the time for just a little additional flavor. So that's what's going in there so far. And let's see, that's just a little bit of salt. I'm gonna salt the tofu and salt, salt and pepper the tofu. And there's also the squash in there. You notice I did not cut up the squash. I sliced it, just one thin slice off of it. Uh, that's gonna be a surprise for y'all coming up. So now here comes some black pepper, just crushed, ground up black pepper. Again, it's going on the tofu, and it's gonna put some on the squash. So we put black pepper. Just about everything I cook has a little bit of black pepper in it. So let's see, what am I doing now? Uh, Again, I apologize for this. Uh, let's see, that's a little bit of thyme, I believe. Yeah, that's thyme. Uh, Put a little bit of thyme on there. And let's see. Okay, that's the cumin, I think. And oh yes, and that's turmeric right there. I'm sorry, that is smoked paprika right there. Smoked paprika, and that is liquid smoke. Put a bit of liquid smoke in the barbecue and in the sauce, and then we're going to mix this all together, and then we're going to drizzle it on the tofu. Now, the tofu will go in the oven, and everything goes in the oven right here. The sweet potatoes, the squash, the carrots. There are two carrots on there, you can't see them. The tofu, it's gonna go in the oven, and it'll bake until it's done. Probably about, I think it's about an hour. So that's what's going on here. So get every little last drop out of it, 'cause that stuff is really, really good. So that's what we're doing right here. And I put the last thing, I put a rosemary sprig on there just for, again, a little extra flavor. And I'll put it in the oven and let it cook. And when it comes out, when y'all see this, y'all are going to be surprised. I wrapped it up with aluminum foil for the first couple minutes. Okay, now we're back. Now I'm making a dipping sauce, a cranberry sauce. This is the best sauce. Normally when I do cranberry sauce, I won't even eat it, but I put one orange in there. I put the zest of the orange. If y'all not using the zest, it adds so much flavor, and it's high in vitamins too. So got one orange. Let's see, what else am I putting now? Okay, there's 1 cup of cranberries. That's 1 cup of cranberries, and fresh cranberries, and I did wash them. Okay. Now, let's see, what am I doing now? Let's, oh, let's, what is that? I can't tell what that is. Um, I'll get back with you on that. Some kind of spice. Oh, that's nutmeg. I bought it today. It's nutmeg. So that's nutmeg. And so I figured that out. And right here is cinnamon. Just ground cinnamon. And then a little bit of agave nectar. A good squirt of agave nectar for the sweetness of it. And let's see. Oh yeah. Better have more wild turkey. I mean, it's turkey season, so we're doing it good with turkey. And I think I've had so much to drink today already. I didn't take a shot right here, but I will later on. And gotta have a little bit of lemon juice. The lemon juice adds a little bit of bitiness, tartness to it. And I will say that I put this in a Vitamix and blended it up really well. I tasted of it, But then, and it tasted really, really good. But then, once it gets through blending, I pour it into a boiler and I put it on the stove back there. I've already put the burner up. So I put it on the stove in a boiler. And right here I'm showing you steam's coming up from it. So I put it in a boiler, I put it on the stove, and I let it thicken up. It's probably I put it on medium low for about 15-20 minutes. It thickened up, and see what beautiful color that is? It's gorgeous. And I put it on the stove. I'm getting a spoon right now so I can taste of it before it's cooked. Before and after, uh, there's a difference. So definitely cook it, and once y'all try this, y'all will not eat any other uh, cranberry sauce. Okay, welcome back for the great reveal. Now, I've, I'm not showing it to you right now, but this deserves another shot. So we kill this turkey and get it good. Okay, remember I started out making a stuffing. It had tofu, a lot of spices in there. I put it in a cast iron frying pan, had onions and garlic and celery and that kind of stuff. I put it in the oven. I cooked it for about an hour and a half at 350. While that was cooking, I got 2 sweet potatoes and I thin sliced them in the food processor. And I put a glaze of agave nectar and a sprinkling of cinnamon on there. And I also put, I got some tofu, if you remember, diced up, put spices on there, and put that in the oven, along with 2 carrots, and a squash. And so we let that cook. The tofu cooked for about an hour, and the sweet potatoes were all in one pan. And then I took it out and let it cool. And then I told you this was going to be a 3D turkey. So I think that if you brought this to your family's house or had family coming over, if they've had enough of this, they're going to like it. Okay? So anyway, let's have the big reveal here. Well, it's a 3D turkey. What do y'all think? See? You got the turkey itself, you got the tofu sticking out, some carrots sticking out for a little additional color. The potatoes here are your drumsticks. So, and they're thin slice, so you can take them out. If you wanted to do potatoes all the way around, you could, if you had a big family. But this, just peels right off. And that's a sweet potato with a little bit of cinnamon. And it's so good. And the dressing here, okay, you got a little bit of dressing. Now, this over here is a cranberry sauce. This is literally the best cranberry sauce I've ever had in my life. Remember, it's got orange in there, lemon. Put some of that on there. Because generally, if I see cranberry sauce, I pass on it. But that is so good. It tastes really good. You can taste the liquid smoke, Worcestershire, the onions, garlic. It's got a real smoky flavor, kind of like dressing. Okay. Now I'm also going to try one of the tofu bites or strips. They're sticking up like feathers. They're crispy. Now, this one is, I stuck it in there a few minutes ago. It is absorbing some of the liquid, so this is the last thing you want to put in there before you serve it. But I'm going to put a little bit more of this on there because it is so good. You can taste all the spices, the liquid smoke, the wild turkey's in there. It's just so good. It is so good. And y'all can have your children help you stick it in here, and they will be so proud to get them involved. So they will learn to cook too. So anyway, y'all have a great Thanksgiving and have a great day. I'm almost tipsy vegan.